Alright, so you got your four-wheeled chassis for your Arduino project, but you don't know how to build it. I'm going to show you exactly how to build it, so you can build it correctly. You need 4 wheels, 4 gear motors, and a package of stuff with the 2 main chassis. You need all these components in order to get started. Make sure that you have all of these, and then we can begin. You need a couple of long screws, a couple of short screws, some nuts, some spacers, some plastic pieces, a battery holder, wires, and these things. So let's get on to it. Start off by taking off the cover on the plexiglass sheet. To do this, pour some water and spread it over the paper. This should immediately dissolve or start dissolving the paper, and then you can take it off easily, like the skin on a potato. Now do this throughout the complete chassis, and do it for both chassis, so that you have a nice clear chassis to work with. This is essentially what you want, and you don't want that brown paper in your project. So here's how you take it out. So once you've taken off one side, do the same with the other side. And once you get some of the part out, it should be very easy to take almost all of it out at the same time. Now once you're done with one of the chassis, you can go on ahead to the next one. Once you're done with both of them, they should look something like this, clean and nice. You should begin and move on to the next stage, which is soldering the motor joints. In order to solder wires to the motor, all you have to do is heat up your soldering iron and put a dab of solder onto the motor pins. Now it doesn't matter which color of wire you put on which pin, just be consistent with all of the motors so that it's easy for the wiring and the coding part of it. Now solder wires to all of the motors, and they should look something like this. Make sure that it's clean joints and that they don't touch anything else. Now do the same process for step 1 to the little plastic pieces. These are actually motor mounts and you're going to need them, so make sure you have them clean. Now you're going to begin by putting them through this rectangle as shown right here. And then you're going to take your motor and then 2 long screws and 2 nuts. And then you're going to mount them on the holes shown above here. So take a long screw and do as I'm doing. Put it through the motor hole and then through the motor mount. Now do the same at the bottom and then tighten the nuts, or put the nuts and then tighten them. Now the bottom screw might take in a little force, but this is natural and don't worry. All you need is a little force and it will go in. Now all you have to do is screw in the nuts and you're done with the motor mount. You might also want to use a screwdriver to be extra cautious and extra careful. Now, you can choose to put the rotary encoder on or not, this doesn't really matter. Now try the wheel, and once you're done or satisfied with it, you can do this to all of the motors, because it's basically the same process. Once you're done, it should look something like this. By now, you have all of your motors mounted, but you still need the top chassis, and to do this we're going to use some spacers and some screws in between. This is important because we need to have some space in between the motors and the wires and the top chassis. So begin by mounting or placing the top chassis above the motors like so, and make sure you route the wires through the holes so they don't get in the way or they're easily accessible when you need them, because most of the times your Arduino or the motor driver is going to be on the top. Now all you really have to do to mount the top chassis onto the bottom one is take a small screw, which is provided, and then use a spacer that is given to mount the top chassis and the bottom chassis together. Use a small screw on the top also, and then you're done. Now do this on all 4 corners and you should be good to go. And now you can finish up by adding the battery holder. And now you're done. That was fast and convenient. It's a really nice package, and this kit is quite efficient. I like it, and I recommend it. Thanks for watching.